welcome to 4th Level Fighter. We're going to do another Dragonbane solo adventure alone in Deepfall Breach. This time, Sir Cornelius will in fact be alone, because if you recall from the previous episode, or installment, Sir Elyrim Stormhand, or Stormhand, whatever his name was, he died. He is gone, and so Sir Cornelius Dragon Heart is going to tackle this on his own. We are using the Alchemy VTT, which so far I have found to really like, because it really enhances the theater of the mind experience of role-playing. You're going to be seeing the Game Master side of Alchemy VTT. The players do not see all this information. They don't see the part on the bottom right that says scenes and story and tools. They will have a slightly different screen that focuses on their character, but for the most part you're going to see what a player would see. And at some point, once they get streamer mode ironed out, we will probably be showing that so you can have the experience as though you were playing with us. Now, this adventure is called the Cultists' Warren. Are you ready to go, Sir Cornelius?
I am ready to go.
So, after you recovered from your wounds the last time, after the captive orc mission, you return to that church near the breach, and you find good old Engulfer. Now, Engulfer, he was the NPC that was with us, that gave us the mission, and he looks at you and says, "My gaze is fixed upon the cultist's subterranean outpost. There find ye Ariok, the devotee of demons, who wears the World-Breaker shard as a medallion. Wrest it from them so we may remake its power for good. But be warned, the chasm is restless. Magma churns below. Be quick, lest the breach unleash its fury in your path. When the thread activates..." Oh, nope, that should be my voice. "When the thread activates, flowing magma bursts into the scene, causing chaos." So we have that tracker. Last time it was a trio of goblins. Now it is magma that is going to burst onto the scene and cause all sorts of problems. So again, we start at 1. When we hit 6, that happens. Every delay, significant delay, or any stretch, rest, or activity that requires a stretch of time, 15-20 minutes, will advance this tracker 1 pip. And when it hits 6, up comes the lava. So, as we enter into the Deepfall Breach one more time, we find the Stone Maw. This great earthen visage is twisted and warped by time and the chisels of cultists, evoking a fanged monstrosity whose gaping maw presents your entry point. I see blood dripping from those wicked fangs, but I cannot say if this vision is real or prophetic. So, with the solo games, we are kind of left to our own devices to determine what we see. And I went ahead and plugged this exact prompt word for word into Midjourney, and this is the picture we got. And I think it looks fantastic. It's like there's a big craggy rock that has been carved to look like some sort of demon or dragon face, but you can see the path leads inside of its mouth. And we need to make some determinations. This could be trapped. There could be hidden dangers. I'm going to turn it over to Sir Cornelius. What do you do?
Well, knowing that this is an area where the cultists frequent, I'm going to make a roll to see if I can't find anything either valuable or perhaps dangerous that will harm me or that might be valuable to me.
Now, you have 2 choices. You could make an awareness roll, which is kind of like a passive perception. Just, do I see any immediate danger? That's, just takes a few moments. You can also do a spot hidden roll, which means you're taking, 15 minutes or so to make a thorough search of the area. That will, of course, advance the threat timer, so it's up to you.
I'm going to take my time with this entryway. I think it's vital that I don't take damage now if it is trapped.
So you need to roll under your number
This is a roll under game, so you needed a 7 or lower, and you got a 3, so you succeed. So let's find out what we've got here. Now, I don't know if it's trapped. We're going to use the Oracle die. So we've got, how about a fortune chart, yes or no? Is there a dangerous trap here? No, there's no trap. So you spend the time to search, and you are convinced there are no traps to be found here. This just looks like a horrid-looking entranceway to try and keep out, those who might interfere with the cult's sinister plans. Anything else you want to do in this area before we advance?
As far as valuables go, did the cultists happen to leave anything that might assist me on this quest?
Well, you did make a spot hidden roll, so I think that if there were something, you would find it. So let's just ask the Oracle die, did you find some sort of treasure here? Extreme, yes. So there's definitely some treasure. Maybe someone stashed something here for safekeeping. Maybe it's hidden in a crevice in the rocks. Let's see what we get when we roll on the treasure table. So it's a book. Go ahead and roll a 1d6 for me. A 5. You find the book Beasts of the Cave, an encyclopedia. So this may give you a boon to a roll during this adventure, because maybe it gives you some foreknowledge of what is to come. You maybe just flip through it briefly and you see it's filled with some creatures that you have previously encountered or heard of, and there's some that are worse than your worst nightmare.
Well, that will be most useful as an insight into the cultists.
Absolutely.
So I think Sir Cornelius is going to head into the Stone Maw and further into the breach.
You pass through the Stone Maw into the next area. Now, according to the adventure, this is blank. We had to roll this one as well as the next one and find out what was there. I went ahead and did this ahead of time, and what we ended up with is caustic riddles. There's a huge river of acid bubbling before you that you're going to need to cross. And standing as sentinels near this river are 2 enormous stone statues. And the greenish-yellow smoke, the corrosive scent of acid fills your nostrils as you approach. And the 2 statues begin to slowly move. Only their heads move. They slowly turn and their eyes engage you, and wherever you move, their eyes follow you. And they look at you, and in a raspy stone voice you hear, "Ah, brave adventurer, pass this riddle, and you may advance. What always runs, but never walks? Often murmurs, never talks. Has a bed, but never sleeps. An open mouth that never eats."
So can I make a myths and legend roll?
You can, and I'm going to say that if you pass this, I'll actually maybe give you a little bit of a hint here. So you succeed. Now, you know that there is something, perhaps in this scene, that you think, gosh, there's something in here that is so familiar. Something maybe in this visual image could be what is the answer to this riddle as you stand near the long length of flowing acid. They repeat, "What always runs, but never walks? Often murmurs, never talks. Has a bed, but never eats. Or sleeps, an open mouth that never eats."
Well, that sounds possibly like the acid river.
"River!
and they both bow their heads, and you see the passage behind you begin to glow as an illusory wall fades from view, granting you passage.
Well,
I think you got pretty lucky there.
yes.
So sometimes these riddles, so what I did, I actually looked up like easy fantasy riddles, and this was like one of the easier ones, and I thought, you know what, it's actually pretty easy, but when the pressure's on and you have to determine what it means, it's tough, and it maybe makes you realize just how skilled Bilbo was at riddles. When his life was on the line, he was able to both answer and come up with riddles. So the internet is always your friend when you need riddles, but sometimes your brain in the moment is not your friend. So I think that your myths and legends roll definitely helped you, because it let you know that there was some sort of clue here. And Game Master to Game Master, those that are watching this, I would encourage you not to make the riddles too hard. Not to make the puzzles too hard. Make them things that can be solved, and always have some sort of hint at the ready if you need it. So I'll get off my soapbox, and we will continue on.
Alright, so I continue onwards through this new passageway then.
So this is another random encounter that I rolled. And you have not seen any of this. This is all new to you. This is the Alley of Arachnids, a treacherous stone bridge across a chasm of magma. Everywhere, sticky strands of spider webs crisscross. You can hear the chittering of small insects, some that may be trapped in webs and some that may be lurking and hunting in the webs. You see stashed amongst the webbing here and there large bundles wrapped in web, man-sized, orc-sized, goblin-sized. Clearly, this is home to something terrible and great.
Well, I'm going to assume that this is a rather dangerous area. As I navigate this stone bridge, I am going to do my best to stay hidden, and at least try and do my best to avoid perhaps alerting something to my attention by vibrating one of the webs.
I think you'll need to make a sneaking roll.
Which I am not very good at, but I will do my best. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm not going to be able to sneak through here successfully.
Got a little bit of a slowdown here. I'm not sure what's causing that. Again, Alchemy is fairly new. In fact, I don't think it's actually hit the version 1 yet, or it's awfully close to it. It looks like we're having a little bit of a slowdown, but hopefully this will resolve. It's probably this scene. There's probably some of that spiderweb animation or something that's causing that. But you say you did not make this sneaking roll.
Unfortunately, no.
Now, your character has a special heroic ability because you are going solo. And this heroic ability will allow you a specific advantage. Let me just see. It's called Soul Survivor. When adventuring alone, you may push a roll without suffering a condition. Normally, when you push a roll, you're going to suffer one of 6 conditions that gives you a bane on that ability. Do you want to use those willpower to push this roll, or do you want to take the condition?
I would rather like to avoid battle here, so I will attempt to push this roll, spending 3 of my willpower points, as I no longer will have any use for my guardian ability.
Right, because the guy you were supposed to guard, you let die. So, not that I'm bitter or anything, but that's just kind of what happened. So, can you roll lower than 6? And we're back. So we just had to, we were running off of the app on Alchemy, and we just went to the browser version, and we'll see if that runs a little better for us. So let's go back to the tactical map. I also took off the music and the animated spider webs, and we'll see if this works a little better. So you would not be able to see what the people at home could see, but I've got some NPC tokens here. So I'm going to bring them both up. Let me show the army of 1. That is going to be your second action, because you, as a solo adventurer, you have a special ability called Army of One that basically lets you draw 2 initiative cards, and this is what you are about to find. So, spoiler. So in combat, you'll get 2 actions. Let's show. And let me get some tokens out here. So we'll put you over here. And I think we'll move this guy up here. This is a swarm of hunting spiders. And then we've got the Army of One there. So as you are skulking through here, trying to be sneaky, your new greatsword that you just purchased in town, the scabbard strikes a web as you pass, and that vibration travels up through the webbing up until a swarm of hunting spiders detect your presence, and they scurry down in mass down the webbing to come and get you. And we will go to the initiative order. The swarm of hunting spiders will go first, and then you get the next 2 rounds. These hunting spiders, this is no normal foe here. This is actually a monster, and monsters in Dragonbane are much more serious than just your random sort of enemy. So their attacks automatically hit, but you can dodge them. You cannot parry a monster, but you can dodge it. We're going to roll 1d4 to see which attack they do. So he's going to do, or they, maybe not he. He's going to do number one. I believe that is the joint attack. So you can try to dodge this attack, or you can just take the hit and then you'll get 2 attacks. The joint attack, they find a joint in your armor where your armor is weak, and your armor will not protect you against this.
Okay, well then I will try and dodge.
So you need to make an evade roll. You succeed. So you manage to squirm out of the way of these stinging, biting insects, and it is your turn. You have 2 turns.
And that evade will take one of my turns.
Yes, it will. So now you are down to 1.
So I'm going to attempt to slash this spider with my greatsword, and use my new greatsword for the first time.
Excellent. Let's see how this new sword that you paid a pretty penny for. You miss, but you can push the roll. You could spend willpower points and not take a condition, or you can take a condition.
I'm going to take a condition and say this upsets me, that my sword missed on its first attack, so I'm going to become angry and push the roll.
And you need a 15, and I believe you are going to make a hit on this. Yes, you do. So go ahead and roll damage. So you roll your sword damage plus your strength bonus. So these are 2d10, so you could do up to 20 points of damage. And let's see how you did. Well, you did 5, 6, 7. So 7's not bad. It's not great, but not bad. One thing I should mention is that you find that swarms only take half damage from slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning weapons. I'm going to round up and say you did 4 damage. And then that's the end of the round, so we'll shuffle the initiative order. Sir Cornelius, you get to go twice, and then the spider.
Alright, I'm going to attack the spider with my sword once again.
And again, you need a 15 or lower, and a 1 would be fantastic here. And I believe you're going to get a hit. If you do, the monster is going to dodge for his turn. So the target's actually not 1. The target would have been 15. But he got a demon. So we're going to roll on the table and find out what that demon is for this this spider. This could be fantastic. So we've got a demon roll, a mishap. Let's see what we get on the table here. He hits himself by mistake. Roll damage as usual, but without any damage bonus. So I'm going to say it is this mass attack. And he'll take 3 damage. Now it's your turn.
And will that damage be halved?
No, because he'll damage himself, so he'll actually take the full 3. So it's now your second turn, and then the spiders have lost their remaining action this turn because they just used it to evade. So this is basically a free shot if you can hit.
And will I still roll my damage because they missed evading?
Yes, you will. Yes, thank you. So roll your damage the first time, and then you can make your second attack. This is more like it. So this is going to be a nice healthy shot. So with your sword you got 17 points of damage, and then with your 24-inch pythons you got an extra 3, so that's 20 damage. He will take half, so he'll take 10. I honestly thought this was going to challenge you, but you're doing quite well. It helped that he hit himself, but still you've about got these spiders vanquished. We're at the bottom of the initiative order. We will reset it.
Don't I get my other turn?
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you.
Alright, I will do that attack quickly.
Yeah, I don't want to cheat you out of this, so. Especially because the spider goes first next round. So if you can hit and finish him off, this would be great. And if that is yes, it is a success. Go ahead and roll damage. If you can do 14 points of damage here, you will have bested a monster. And you did well. You already got a 9, so 16. Yeah, yep. He's done for. So let's go ahead and hide this guy. Tell me how you finish off this swarm of beasts.
So I think, considering so this is multiple spiders then?
Yes, like probably 30 or 40, maybe cat-sized spiders, we'll say.
So yeah, I keep hacking, and there's spider arachnid limbs strewn about the ground, and the last one comes at me, and I skewer it right through the juicy abdomen, and then perhaps the rest of them, seeing that I've vanquished so many of their fellows, just scamper back off onto their webs.
Well, that was fantastic. I honestly thought that you would die here, so I'm going to have to try harder. You managed to make your way across this rickety bridge. It is quite sticky still, so I'm going to say you need to make some sort of roll, maybe like an agility roll, or perhaps acrobatics. I would give you the choice here.
I will do acrobatics.
Okay. Just to avoid, don't step in that, don't put your hand in those eggs. And you succeed. So fantastic. You make it across without any difficulty. Had you failed, then maybe it takes you a stretch of time to get through here. But you did quite well, and so we don't need to advance the threat tracker. Let's move on. This next scene comes straight from the book. And you can hear Ingolfer's voice in your mind as you recall his words to you.
This crumbling bridge spans the breadth of the rift. Below, a river of magma belches smoke and fire. A small band of orcs encamp on the near side of the bridge. A barricade manned by cultists lies on the other. The orcs siege the bulwark, but take no ground. There must be magic at work to repel these skilled warriors so handily.
So you need to cross this bridge. Problem being, you've got some orcs that are your allies, maybe Gorham's cousins. They're trying to battle these cultists on the other side of the bridge. You can't quite see them because it's under where it says Fool's Crossing, but they've got some sort of defensive wall constructed, and the orcs are throwing spears and shooting arrows, and it just seems to be bouncing off of some sort of invisible barrier. So you need to get across this bridge. Do you want to join the side of the orcs and attack? Do you want to try and sneak around, maybe scale the outside of the bridge, somehow dispel that magic? Or do you have questions about what might be going on here that we could use the fortune die?
I think perhaps I will join with the orcs and offer my help to them. I'll tell them I'm a friend of Gorham's. I was the one who rescued him from the cultist clutches. Perhaps that book I found earlier in the entrance to this particular cavern might hold some sort of insight into how I might dispel this barrier.
I like that. So let's do a fortune roll, and let's see first of all if the book has something in there that is of assistance. And so if we ask, yes, so the book does offer assistance. I'm going to say that gives you a boon on whatever your plan is. As far as rallying the orcs, give me a persuasion roll with a boon, because they know the service that you have performed for their tribe in rescuing Gorham. And so again, with the boon, we're going to take the lowest number. And I believe we need is your target a 5?
So my persuasion is a 10.
A 10. So, well, you've already got a 5 and a 10. So either one would be a success. So you successfully engage the orcs, and they say, "Yes, you saved Gorham. You friend of orcs. Come, create diversion, and we will rush them."
Very well. So, diversion-wise, so we can't get across the bridge, am I correct? There's a barrier?
Well, there's like a little wooden wall just going across kind of the flat, the path of the bridge. But it doesn't extend over the sides. You could try and scale those rocks and down the side and then climb back up behind them. Perhaps if you were stealthy enough and brave enough, you could do that. That might be a plan.
I think that perhaps that's our best plan. I will attempt to sneak behind the cultists and to create a diversion that will allow the orcs to charge across.
Give me a roll to see just how stealthy you can be. And I'm going to say that this plan, plotting with the orcs and trying to do all this sneaking, this is going to take roughly a stretch of time. So I'm going to advance the threat tracker. Now, you need to beat a 6, and an 18 is not going to cut it. Do you want to spend the willpower in order to push this without a condition?
Yes, I'm going to spend 3 willpower points and try and push this roll.
All right. Go ahead and give it a push, and we'll see if you can improve on the 18 that you rolled. Again, of course, you need to beat a 6. And I am guessing that 19 doesn't look good. The 2 would be great, but I don't think that's what we're going to get. Well, 17 is better than the 18, as is 15, but we need to keep going down. And looks like, oh, we have landed on 15. So you push the roll, but know that the cultists are aware of you. And one of them rushes over to the side and sees you kind of climbing over the side, and he's speaking to his friends. I'm going to need you to make a roll to get across. You can make a strength roll if you like, just to be able to hold yourself and go hand over hand along those stone, looks like blocks that make up the sides of the bridge. This should be easy for you. I believe you have a 17 strength.
Yes. This is definitely one of my stronger skills.
And then we see as this dice comes up, it is going to be a success. You ended up rolling a 12. So you managed to work your way across there. Are the cultists going to go after you and let down their guard to let the orcs have the advantage, or will the orcs press them? So will the cultists go after you? Let's ask the oracle die. No. That's excellent. So they're aware of your presence, but they're going to be focused on the orcs, because the orcs, knowing that this was the plan, they double their assault. In fact, they bring out fire and try and throw fire at the barricade, maybe smoke them out. They've got some damp cloths, maybe their dirty socks or something. They set on fire and heave over towards that side, so the smoke begins to billow and obscure some of their vision, and this gives you the moment to sneak up behind them if you so choose. Now, in fact, you can get behind them and attack, or you can just get behind them and continue on your way. What is your plan?
I think, as being a knight, and I pledge my service to the orcs, I'm going to try and attack them from behind and rally the orcs to me.
So I'm gonna say that because they were not paying any attention to you, I'm gonna let you make an attack. Now let's just see how many cultists there are. We'll just ask for, I believe there's a fortune for the number of cultists, because this may change your plan here. Several. I'm going to say several is 4. There's 4 cultists. But if you can determine what's causing this barrier, that may help you out. Make an awareness roll. I believe you need an 8.
Yes, for awareness I need an 8.
As you poke your head up over the rampart and gaze at the chaos of these cultists trying to fend off these orcs, you spot back in the distance, with a success, you spot a cultist that seems to be mumbling to himself as though he is chanting the words to some sort of spell. And having spent time with Elyrim before he died, you know that this sort of magic could create a protective barrier, and just as Elyrim's magic died with him, maybe this protective barrier will die with this spellcaster. So you have an opportunity here. If you have a ranged attack, you can take it, or you can leap over the rampart and rush.
I do not have a ranged weapon, so I will leap over and rush towards this spellcaster.
All right. Let's make a brief combat here. I don't have a token for this guy. I don't think I do. Let me see. Maybe I made a token here. Oh, look at that. I did make a token. Let me bring this guy up. We'll show him on there. And then we will roll for initiative. Do I have Army of 1 on there? Oh, look at that. I do. It's almost like I put in the prep work here. and then we will start the initiative. And I'm not going to bother pulling up the tactical map. We'll just do Theater of the Mind here. So you get to go first, and then the cultists, and then your second action.
Alright, so with my first action, I can attack this spellcaster.
You know what, I'm going to say it takes an action to get over the rampart. Well, let's ask. The fortune die. Does it take your full action to get yourself over the rampart and make it there, or were you able to scramble over quickly? So does it take your full action just to climb over the rampart to go after this guy? No, it does not. So you may make an attack. You spring yourself over the rampart and sprint, great sword poised, ready to strike.
And my swords is a 15, so this is another one of my stronger skills.
Yes, and so, and I don't believe these guys have any armor. And a measly 12 hit points. So, you succeed. Go ahead and roll your damage. You could actually behead this guy right here.
So that will be 19 points of damage that I deal to this cultist.
Okay, well, just for fun, I'm just going to knock these hit points down. Tell me how you dispatch this cultist wizard.
So I probably approach him, and he is so in tune with his spellcasting, doesn't see me, so I walk up to him and just lop off his head, and hope that this drops the barrier, so that the orcs can attack the remaining cultists.
Oh, it does indeed. The barrier flashes a brilliant amber color, and orc spears and arrows fly through, and the demon cultists are quickly put to the sword, and you are able to make your way onwards into Deepfall Breach. We come to the next scene, and again this is from the book. Let's bring this up. And you recall Engulfer's words yet again.
Beyond a ruined gate lies a courtyard fronting an ancient stronghold. Scores of cultists dwell within that fortress. But ye've no need to take a direct route. Instead, descend the well into the tunnels below.
So you find this courtyard of a subterranean fortress, and Engulfer's wise words to not engage, but descend through some hidden well that you may have to search for.
Yes, I will, keeping these words in mind, see if I can't find a well of sorts to descend through.
So you know what you're looking for, so if you make a spot hidden, I'm going to give you a boon on that. And hopefully you can get some success here. That would be grand. And so with the boon, you will roll 2 dice, and you'll take the best of the 2. And needing a 7, I believe this is not going to be in your favor. Do you wish to take a condition or use some willpower points to re-roll?
I will use 3 more willpower points to try and re-roll this.
Succeeding here would probably save you a lot of trouble. I'm going to advance the threat tracker because, of course, this takes roughly 15 minutes of time.
And now I am down to a 3 willpower points, so I can use this ability 1 more time.
Now you can do some rest, and that may be a wise move. You've got a few options for rest. You can rest the whole day long. You can also rest for a stretch, which of course is going to advance the threat tracker. You can do a round rest, where this lasts a single round. You recover D6 willpower, but no hit points, and you can only have 1 round rest per shift. So, and a shift would be like 8 hours. So you do have an opportunity to take a brief rest and kind of catch your breath and steal your resolve if you want. But you found the well. So the well, is it in view of these these guards here, these cultists. Let's ask the fortune die if this is in view. Is the well in view, or will this be easy to get by? No, it's not in view, so they're not even paying attention. You can probably easily make your way to the well and then make your way down. Do you want to do anything before that happens?
I would perhaps like to find a safe spot to rest.
You could, with your back to the wall, you could take a moment and kind of steel yourself. If you like, go ahead and do a round rest. You can roll 1d6 and regain that many willpower points.
And will this advance the threat tracker?
This will not, because this only takes one round. So this is just, a moment to just kind of, focus. Tell yourself, you got this. Your legs are number one, that sort of thing, and then you will recover that many willpower points. And 3 at least would be nice, because you're down to 3, correct?
Yes.
But you get 2, so it's still not quite enough to let you to use it again. But you found the well, and you'll be able to get through here without fighting. It sounds like. I will need to have you make a strength roll just to climb down the well. This should be easy for you. You have, a 17 for strength?
Yes.
And nothing comes easy for you, apparently, because needing a 17, looks like you roll a 19. Do you want to take a condition, or do you want to use those precious willpower points?
Perhaps I'll become disheartened.
I think that would actually happen in real life. Much as you're probably becoming disheartened now that your rolls are pretty terrible right now. Hopefully that will resolve. There's only but a few rooms left to traverse, and so needing that 17, you push yourself and roll a 10 and manage to scale down into safety. And let's go back to...
And when I rested, I was angry before, does that recover that condition?
I believe that a condition is only recovered during a longer rest. I think that there are some heroic abilities that let you do that. During a stretch rest, you can heal a condition, but you would have to do that 15-minute rest, and that will advance the threat tracker. So do you want to do another rest and rest for 15 minutes?
No, I think I'd rather just push on.
Okay. Again, as you... The Deepfall Breach is not just a straight path from here to there. It's a labyrinth of mazes and corridors and passageways. And as you stumble into this next area, Engulfer's words fill your thoughts.
These stifling tunnels afford little room for mistakes. Heed not the voice calling ye to refuge, for it speaks only lies. Follow the silent darkness, and into the cult's black heart ye will emerge.
And as you descend into these ratways, you see a spot that you know would be safe. This would be a safe place to rest. You wouldn't be bothered. You could spend your whole 15 minutes here, rest and recover. It looks so inviting. It's like when you're exhausted and you see a bed, and like the pillow looks so soft and the blankets look so warm. Do you want to go ahead and take that stretch rest here?
Well, keeping Engulfer's words in mind, I'm going to push forward.
That's probably wise. It takes some willpower to get past that, but you skulk in through the silent darkness into the cult's black heart. Give me an awareness roll, if you would. And your character won't know if you passed or failed this. This is just sort of, are you aware of something that's here or not?
So I needed an 8, and it looks like I got a 9. So
you got a 9.
I am not aware.
So everything here looks, as it would be expected. You traverse down this dark passageway, lit only by the meager light of your torch. And you continue on, you hear the skittering of rats, and you can smell the ammonia stench of their urine everywhere. You notice in a few places where the walls seem to writhe and undulate, and then they begin to flee the sight of your torchlight as you see that it's not walls after all, but rat-covered walls, the bodies of warm brown and black rats clinging to the walls, licking any little bit of moisture they can find off those walls. And you manage to avoid the revulsion that one would feel and continue on your way into the final area. And in Gulfer's words again, you take to heart.
A wide pit occupies the center of this room, surrounded by scrawled, fiendish symbols. Steam rises through the pit from the magma below, clouding the space in sulphurous fog. Auriok and a pair of cultist priests lair here in the midst of some vile ritual. Seize the shard and make haste to return.
It's not easy to make that voice. You can see this ritual chamber with the huge pit, the glow of magma bubbling and seething down below. You see cultists standing around through here, and you notice, I got it in handouts. Yeah. All right, let's see. Your eye is drawn to an amulet. I'm going to share this. Is drawn to an amulet about the neck of the high priest Auriok. This must truly be the World Breaker Shard. As I share this, it should go into your screen so that you would be able to see it.
Yes.
I'm also going to pull up, I believe I have a picture of Auriok here. You may recognize this as recycled art from the last adventure, but this is Auriok, the cult leader, wearing the Worldbreaker Shard as an amulet about his neck. Is luck with you this time? Oh, I don't want you to see what he can do. Is luck with you this time? Let's make a roll. Are they aware of your presence? Was your stealth through the ratways sufficient to avoid being seen? So are they aware of you? Let's ask the Oracle dice. I believe last adventure they were not aware of you. They are aware of you this time. And so you hear laughter.
Ha! Well, the rat comes home.
And Auriok draws his sword.
Leave him to me.
And he steps forward to engage you in combat. Now you're standing about 40 or so feet away. So you have the opportunity to do whatever you might like to do. You can rush into combat. You can try and parlay.
I think that as this is my assigned task, and as a knight, that I would be prepared to battle the cult leader if that's what it takes to acquire this shard. And I don't think he's going to give it up willingly.
I think that's probably right. Let's go ahead and start initiative, and we will see how this goes. So you draw cards, the army of ones there. You get to go first and second, and then it's his turn. So what will you do, Sir Cornelius?
So I'm going to engage him with my greatsword.
So you draw your blade, and you both walk towards one another, slowly at first. Auriok's sword is dragging behind him, sparks kicking up from the stones as his pace quickens, and yours as well. And by the time you meet, you are practically running at each other. You both swing, and your swords clang with a loud clash as sparks fly from the honed edges of your blade. All that flavor text just to say go ahead and roll an attack. what, a 15?
Yes,
believe?
my swords, I need a 15.
Well, Ariok is...
And it looks like I did roll high enough to hit Ariok.
Well, he's going to try to parry. So he will... it says axes, it should be a sword. He brings his great blade up to try and parry that. So he needs to beat a 15 as well. And if he parries, you still roll damage, because your sword may do enough to actually destroy his sword. Wouldn't that be something? So his sword has a durability of 15. If you can do over 15 points of damage, you may destroy his sword, because he does succeed in the parry. And you can add your strength bonus as well.
Looks like I rolled terribly, so it will not be breaking.
Yeah, so then you get to make your second attack knowing he cannot parry or dodge this one. And the other cultists just watch as this happens. But you get the sense that they are not filled with honor, that they would likely leap into the battle should things turn poorly for their master. And if you succeed, go ahead and roll damage, because there's nothing he can do. He does have a little bit of armor protecting him.
I rolled much better this time for damage.
Okay. He has armor that will reduce it by 4.
And I rolled 20 points of damage.
Oh, whew. So, okay. I'm going to have to get stronger enemies to go against you. So he takes 16 points of damage.
Yes, with his armor, it would be 16.
So it's a lot of clicks here. If this thing was going a little faster, I could just drag the bar, but I don't trust the bar to drag right now because there is some sort of lag going on. We ran into this once before when we were playing around on Alchemy. It was a weekend, we're filming this on a Friday evening, and I don't know if their servers are having issues or what, but we're just getting a little lag. And again, it's new. They're still going through the teething problems. I love the visuals, but sometimes it's a little difficult. So anyway, we will reshuffle the cards. And now he gets to go first. Yeah, it's my turn, he says, as he swings his mighty blade, his great sword.
And are either of the cultist priests going to join in, seeing him take such a damaging blow?
Well, I think we will make a roll on the fortune chart to see if the others rush to aid him. And so he ends up connecting with his sword. You have the option of dodging or parrying or just taking the hit.
I'm going to try and parry.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your weapon attack. I'm going to roll his damage while I'm here.
I rolled a dragon on my parry.
Okay, so this is excellent. So one, you can check the box on your swords for an improvement roll, which is fantastic. So he does, let's see, does 2d10 plus 1d6. This is the damage he does. But however, if on a parry, if you roll a dragon, then not only is it a spectacular parry, but you get a free attack that automatically hits. So you just get to roll damage. So best possible thing that could have happened. And if you can do at least 8 points of damage,
which it looks like I will deal 14 points of damage. So despite his armor, it will kill him.
And let's just see how much damage he did. He did not enough damage. He did 9 points of damage. The durability of your greatsword is 15, so it was not enough to destroy your greatsword. But as he swings his blade in an overhead arc, you raise your sword to parry, and his blade bites into the steel of your weapon. It causes your blade to dip slightly, and you twist and turn in a complete circle, bringing your sword around at neck height and simply lop his head off, right above the chain that holds the amulet. As his body falls, his head flies, and the amulet sails up into the air, and you reach out with your left hand and clutch the chain around the amulet. His body slides to the ground, a pool of blood blackening the stone as his head rolls towards the pit. Does his head fall into the pit? This is all strictly flavor, but I think it sounds pretty cool. If his head rolls into the pit, that's, it'd be awesome. Yes, it does. His head rolls soccer ball-like along the floor, thumping and clanking, and then teetering on the edge of the pit and falling down into the magma with a splash. The cultists that are with him cry out in fear and sadness and grief, and they prostrate themselves, kneeling before you as though you are now the leader of the cult. "Master, what is your bidding?" they say.
Hearing this, I will order them to cast themselves into the pit of magma.
Give me a persuasion roll with a boon, because you have the Worldbreaker Shard, and because that's just kind of awesome.
Oh.
Did you roll it with a boon?
It did not do it, but I will just roll it a second
Yeah, go ahead
time.
and roll it a second time. We'll take whichever result is the best. And they look at you and say, "What? No, master. That is not the plan. We are not to be sacrificed. No, we are here to usher in the mighty demon's return."
Well, in that case, I can't abide these cultists to live, so I will attack them.
Oh, well, okay. Go ahead and, they're still kneeling on the ground, so go ahead and make an attack roll. You have a boon on your attack, and you do an additional 1d6 damage. Let's see if I can get these guys up. I know their stats, and I may just run it.
I accidentally rolled staves. I'm going to correct that.
Yep,
and do
not staves. Staves is not the right thing. Did you roll staves again?
I might have. Alchemy definitely struggles with the boon rolls. There it goes, though.
And if you hit, you're going to roll your damage plus an additional 1d6.
It looks like it did hit, either way, with the boon.
Go ahead and roll that damage. Can you do 12?
It looks like without my strength bonus or the additional d6, I am able to do 12 damage.
You split this guy right in half. Cleave him from collarbone to thigh. Just lop his body completely in half. There's now a right half and a left half and a big pile of goo right in the middle. The other two lurch to their feet. Do they flee? Let's ask the Oracle dice. I gotta think they're not going to want to stick around, but they are fanatics, so do these guys flee down dark passageways to try and get away? Nope, they don't. So one of them stands up and draws a blade, and he charges you. You have your second attack. I'll let you go ahead and take that. And if that's a hit, go ahead and roll damage. Again, these guys have a paltry 12 hit points.
So I actually rolled max damage on that hit.
Okay, so this guy rushes at you. I will save the cult. I will avenge you, Master Ariok. And as he runs, you just hold your sword out, the tip straight out in front of you, and he impales himself on that sword, pierces him right through the heart, and then he slides off to the ground. And his ally, seeing you dispatch, these guys with ease, I'm going to give him one more chance. Does he flee or does this guy attack? He's on his feet. He's got a blade in trembling hands. I don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to flee? Yes, he is going to flee. He drops his blade and says, "Another day, another time, my friend." And he scampers off into the darkness, squealing like a stuck pig. Ah! And you hear his echoing down the dark hallway. You have reclaimed the Worldbreaker Shard. Ingolfer will be pleased. You make your way back through the breach easily, as per the rules, and you find yourself back in town. Now, I don't think you took any damage, did you?
No, I did not.
So no damage. And I think you rolled one dragon?
On my sword.
On your swords. So you're going to have the opportunity to do some improvement rolls. The swords, you can roll that one and then choose 5 other skills, and you want to fail these rolls, and if you fail them, then your skill will increase by 1. So let's go ahead and see how you do on these rolls. So your swords, you need to beat a 15, and then you can pick 5 other skills. You could use ones that you used in the game, or ones that maybe you study that book on monster lore. Maybe that helps you learn some obscure skills that are in there. So your swords, looks like that is not an improvement.
Well, with that book, I'll try and attempt to improve my beast lore.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. Oh yes, in fact, the book helps you out so much that you easily gain that point on beast lore. You got 4 more skills. Go ahead and choose. Looks like acrobatics we're going to do. You want to fail this one? No, you do not. About awareness, you do. So your awareness will go up as well. You got 2 more skills. So beast lore and awareness, each improved by 1. Your evade. Oh, you succeed. So your evade does not improve. And your last skill that you wish to improve. Sneaking. And you fail. So sneaking and beast lore and what was it? Awareness, I think.
Yes, awareness and beast lore.
And beast lore. So those 3 skills will improve. So again, in Dragonbane, there are no levels. You improve incrementally, skill by skill. Once one of your skills reaches 18, you gain a new heroic ability. But you survived the second mission in Deepfall Breach. What was your experience? What did you think of not just the adventure? We can maybe do that first, and then maybe gaming on alchemy. What's your views on that, or your experience?
Well, the adventure was definitely fun. I quite like the Dragonbane system. I've enjoyed it a lot so far. As far as alchemy's gone, I think alchemy is great for the visuals. However, it has been running a bit slow, but hopefully as they continue to update it, that will iron itself out.
It could also be because we're not streaming this, we're just saving it, and I think streaming it may make it a little easier. But that's something that we'll have to experiment with. This recorded great for the first little while, and then all of a sudden we loaded up the Alley of Arachnids, and everything just kind of slowed right down. I think next time we will face the 3rd mission, which is called the Mage's Refuge. So prepare yourself, Sir Cornelius, for the next adventure. I want to thank everyone for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all that, and help our channel to grow. We'll bring you more quality content, and more content that's like this, that's maybe high audio quality and low visual quality. But we're still working out those kinks, and we will bring you the best product that we can. I'll let you have the last word.
Yes, looking forward to the Mage's Refuge next time.